Mitch, we really need to work on our scheduling because
I'm gonna blame Civil War.
that I blame that. I blame global warming. Because there's all this hell that.
Speaking of global warming,
Hmm,
right? I walked my dog earlier, about 3 hours ago. Bright, clear skies.
yeah.
Step out the front door, it starts to rain.
So that that
It's just like,
happened to me.
what? It's like there's no clouds in the sky. Why is it raining? And it was cold rain.
Well, that
Oh,
happened to me the other day where I was going for a quick jog really quick and then it wasn't sunny, but it wasn't like looks like it was about to rain. And then in a matter of minutes, I see these clouds come over and I'm like, "Oh, better go back." And then I thought I still had time and it rained on me, hell on me. Like I told you that it started attacking me. They're like the shape of baseballs. I was like, "Ah, that hurts." What the And then like everybody was putting blankets on their vehicles so the windows wouldn't smash because that's been a thing in my city recently where the hail comes down and then it hits like the parking lots of certain car companies, and then they have a car sale and everything.
the hail's a cover up for just general vandals.
That's true.
Like bricks and hail out.
uh, but yeah, welcome to another Off the Page. Of course, I'm Joe. That's Mitch. And I don't know anything about Civil War, but Mitch does.
I know everything.
Yes,
Oh, it's so good.
Mitch has seen it.
It's
We
so
won't be
good.
talking about it till probably next week or probably the week after, depending on when we're. No, probably the week after because when we
I
record next
might
week, I
drop
won't see it.
I might drop small spoilers in this, and you won't
No,
know.
don't do this.
Subconsciously, you'll watch the movie and be like, "Motherfucker."
Every time I hear something, it's just like it's like a defibrillator, like doot doot doot, like I'm going into shock or something. But we'll talk about it soon, because I have to go see it really quick. And I could have had the opportunity to see it 3 weeks ago, but I didn't know they were doing that whole thing where you can watch it in
No,
your
you
city.
had the opportunity to see. You just didn't
No,
know.
I didn't know. Like I did. This is why I need to follow Marvel on Twitter. I didn't know they were doing the thing where you can like click and be like, here's your tickets. But oh well. I'll
Well,
be seeing it next week
at
anyway.
least you live in a country where they do that.
Oh yeah, you didn't get it. Canada got it
But
too,
I got
so
it a week early, so I'm not going to complain.
sure. But we have a lot of good stuff to talk about today. It's a mostly Marvel heavy news week. That I There's some of the stuff I don't know, which I'm gonna be deferring to Mitch through most of it. And we got some pretty good comics. Like I really enjoyed, especially Faith. Like it came to an end, so be talking about that. But and if we have time, we'll be talking about like the topic of what characters or teams or what kind of shows could work in the MCU currently, whether characters that are in it, characters that they have. Because we're not talking about a Fantastic Four TV show because they don't have them yet until we hear something about it. Which is kind of like ESPN. You're just like waiting for the news of a trade to
Yeah,
happen. You're just
it's
like,
in it. It's happened. It's just got to be announced.
yeah, or something like
Come.
that. Hopefully that's an actual true thing. But I mean, yeah, we'll be talking about Civil War sometime later, and I don't know yet if the layout is Civil War. I'll be surprised which one it is because I don't know. But hopefully either one, Batman v Superman, Civil War. I think
Oh no, Civil War will be next week.
cool. Okay, there you
'Cause
go.
I'm doing the
Because
Civil War chats, so I still got to finish those.
it's also April, so we're still doing the Batman v Superman theme. Even if the movie wasn't great, I do love the art. So, going into the first news topic of the day, we have the Marvel's MOSAIC puzzle revealed. Now, you're probably wondering, what is that? Because Mitch was. He didn't know what this was. It's this,
It's been out for a week and I never
yeah,
saw it.
it's this thing that Marvel has been releasing through, I mean, just images, whether Twitter or whatever, puzzle pieces, and referring to Mosaic. First, there's an image of who is Mosaic, what is Mosaic, and all this stuff. And ultimately, the puzzle came together, and it's tied into not only Civil War II, but Uncanny Inhumans. So, I mean, could this be a new Inhuman? It looks like a woman. Am I right, Mitch? It looks like a woman.
Yeah, I would say it's a woman. In fact, I think I might know who it is, but I
Ooh.
could be wrong.
And in the puzzle pieces, though, there's characters like Spider-Man. I think they even said there's characters like Iron Man. It's different because, I mean, I didn't even know what was happening when I kept seeing the the images, the puzzles. But I mean, we technically, or do we, Mitch? Do we know who the character is that can see the future that Captain Marvel and Iron Man are
Yes,
fighting about?
it's
Okay,
yeah,
'cause
we
I was
have.
about to say it could be this person because Mosaic
No,
reminds
because
me
that's
of
the guy. The
yeah.
guy. Like,
For some reason, Mosaic reminds me of Flash Forward, this TV show. I don't know if you saw it, but where I think for a minute or something second, 30 seconds, the whole world just dropped down and got flash forward. They witnessed the future, and then they woke up, and
I've
now
heard of that.
it's a
I've never watched.
really good show. I really wish I had a season two because the cliffhanger was amazing, but it was just a really great show. And it was that whole thing of if we is it like destiny, when you try to fight against it, does it even matter because it's gonna happen anyways, or can you change it? It was really good. But that's what I felt like this was talking about, something about a character who can maybe look into the future, if anything. It's coming out in Uncanny Inhumans number 11, and the description for that title says, after what Iron Man did in Civil War 2 number 2, Medusa must act. Another one is Inhumans versus Stark Industries. Enough said. So that
Hmm.
sounds interesting.
Maybe it's not who I think it is.
I mean, it's putting Mitch's two loves fighting against each other in humans and Stark. So
Well,
works out for me. But
yeah, just
what do you think this could be? Like, I mean, we know it's a character. I'm
well,
assuming it's an
just
Inhuman.
just by looking at it, I assumed it could be Black Panther's sister.
Ooh, so she's an Inhuman? I mean, I'm just assuming it's an Inhuman because it's on an Inhuman cover. So,
Yeah, well, it's probably going to be a human, but
ooh.
I mean, it could be T'Challa's sister. It could be um, one of the two women we've seen in the Invincible Iron Man issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of either of their names, but apart from that, I've got no idea.
I like a theory that Newsarama, shout out to them, that made on this about how in the cover when all the puzzle pieces are matched, it has all these different characters, like I said, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and all that. And they have a theory that Mosaic's power could be absorbing or combining powers of other heroes, but I mean that's just a guess because there's multiple characters on there. So I mean, what is she, Kirby? Like,
Well, you can't really absorb the power Iron Man's power, can you? No, doesn't have one.
you can absorb his smarts. Actually, yeah, you're right. No, you can't.
Well,
But
I suppose you could do the smarts because they are.
it's technically he's really smart, but
But that was designed.
I just don't know who else is like. I see Spider Man, but I don't really know all the other characters on
No,
the
I'm
cover.
trying to figure them all out. It's just like,
Yeah, one looks like he has Namor ears, but I'm pretty sure that's not Namor.
where's that?
There's the Black Lady too. It's under the Black Lady, has weird like the sharp ears, but the Black Lady next to Spider Man, I don't know who she is. I felt like I saw her in a cover
Oh,
for
you look at the one down below. Below,
yeah.
yeah. See, I thought that was T'Challa because then you got Iron Man's mask underneath it.
True. I
But
don't.
I don't know.
It's a very confusing thing about this, but there's been a lot of teases as to so many stuff that's happening right now in Marvel. But
Yeah.
I'm excited because I've been trying to catch up on the Uncanny Inhumans. I haven't caught up yet, but I've been trying to, and hopefully they can survive Civil War 2, whatever happens in that.
Well, they
But
will.
yeah, let's see. Next up, we have Marvel's quote unquote long awaited return of a certain character that was teased last week. And now we know who it is. It's Quasar. Mitch, do you know anything about this?
I know everything about this Quasar because there's a whole of 3 panels that she's been there.
Oh,
But
oh, oh yeah,
it's well, it's a new character.
yeah.
I'm pretty certain she was only introduced in Standoff like 2 issues ago. But it's not Phyla-Vell, it's not Wendell Vaughn. I'll talk about
But
later actually.
new character as in the identity of the person, because I'm assuming
Yeah,
Quasar has been is
yeah.
Quasar.
There's been several
Yeah,
Quasars
yeah, yeah.
over over the years, but
I mean, Mitch will most likely talk
I
about it
mean,
later.
I was half right when
Yeah,
they
didn't you say
teased it.
Quasar?
I said Quasar. I said
Yeah.
either Nova, Captain Marvel, or Quasar.
See, you were right. That's why I listen to Mitch when it comes to Marvel. That's all. That's all you need to know. He'll be dropping his scoops and his theories. Mitch should. How would you say that? Mitch
I wouldn't.
Mitchstradamus? No.
I wouldn't, because someone would say something. I'd be like,
Oh,
no.
you and who was the artist that you were friends with on Twitter or whatever that message tweeted back at you or whatever?
Steg? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, Mitch got the inside scoop.
I wish I was friends with Stegman.
Well, he's a really good artist. What? I wish I was friends with Jeff Johns. Oh, if only. But he's too old, and that's kind of weird.
You know, well, be friends with Jeff Johns.
uh, but Mitch will be talking about this, like I said, later on in the comic section. This is just to tell you that Quasar, quote unquote, has returned, but it is a new character altogether. It just has like the name and the logo of a previous character.
It's got the name. She's got the quantum bands.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a really cool suit. No,
Yeah, I like it.
I
I'm
love
always,
it.
what do you call it? Is that a cloak?
Yeah, it's a cloak.
I always love the cloak. I think
But
it's
there's
so
something in this
underrated.
picture, the one I'm looking at, that doesn't do it justice.
Which the one that's actual comic or the one that's like the drawing
No,
of
the
it?
comic one you can see it, but the other one you can't. But the black in the suit, they got like the stars. I love it when they do that.
Oh yeah, that. But I meant the cloak in general. Yeah, I love the star aspect on it in the black and the actual panel of the comic. But I just think the cloak is awesome. I think it's underrated. I wish Wonder Woman would have had it because she had it in
I'm
her.
trying to think if the
Oh,
last
I'm not sure.
Quasar had it, but I can't.
Well, Wonder Woman does now have a cloak in
She does
her.
for Rebirth, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I kind of wish she would have had it in BVS because she had it in the art, the concept art. But I love that she's having it in the
Well,
comic.
she's got it in her own movie,
Oh,
so
that's true. So I think that's awesome, though. I'm a big fan of the cloak. Maybe it's because I'm a hunter in Destiny.
and
But
yes, Quasar Failavel, the last Quasar, did have a cloak.
oh, see,
I should have remembered
it's
that.
all
I feel
good.
bad.
We make mistakes, Mitch.
I feel bad.
But moving on to the next piece of news, and the last piece of news, we have Marvel creates a Macronaut. Now, this is not in reactionary to Micronauts that IDW has, but this is just most people, at least the article that I'm looking at, that's the closest thing people can, I guess, compare it to. You know,
Well,
like
it is a reaction, though.
it's,
Well, it's not a reaction, but it's taking
it's
an old
taking a
character.
concept and making it their
Yeah.
own.
Oh, you say it's literally taking something and making it yours, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, it's they've taken Micronauts and made a Macronaut.
Yeah,
So we're gonna take this, but make it this.
yeah, it's the age old thing that most companies do, but it comes in a cover with Ultimates number 8, which is a Civil War II tie-in, and it has Thanos on it. It has Captain Marvel, Black Panther. I don't know these other two characters under Captain Marvel.
You got Captain Marvel underneath it. You have Blue Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's what his name was. Yeah.
Never remember the girl's name. Oh,
Whatever happened to that Nova girl? The she was a black lady.
Nova Girl.
Remember there was a new Nova in I think Secret Wars, and then she was black. She was a lady.
Oh, that was
Whatever happened to her?
that was Infinity Gauntlet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened in that book.
Kind of when she stays.
I love that series as well.
And who's that other chick who just came from the club? That's Black Panther.
That's America Chavez or Miss America.
Miss America.
I can never remember. It's Cosmic, I think.
What?
The woman in the black and white.
Oh yeah, I don't. She does. No, I don't know.
I'm googling this
He's
right
good.
now.
While he googles that, I'll tell you about a little bit about this Macronaut. This Macronaut is just another cosmic character. It lives in the macroverse, similar to the microverse, except in the microverse, it's a different plane of existence. Right, Mitch? Tell me if I'm wrong. That is when you shrink so small. Similar to the macroverse, where the macroverse is a different plane of existence where you enlarge so much. So the way Mitch explained it to me was, in the macroverse, Earth would be like a dust particle to them. You know it's there, but you would never see it. Am I right, Mitch?
That's how I assume, yeah.
Yeah, that's me too, because that's crazy. He it's essentially
And her name is Monica Rambeau. I knew it was something.
Rambo. Let me see. It's infinitely larger than our own universe. It's the like I said, the counterpoint to the micro universe, and he's made many attempts to enter our world and nearly destroyed it in the process. He's so huge and dense that his relative gravity would tear us apart if he materialized fully. Is he an invader, an explorer, cosmic tourist, as they say? But we won't know till really the comic comes out, and to see if he's on our, if he's the good side, if he's the bad side. Because while the two Captain Marvel and Iron Man are fighting, Thanos is cooking up something. He's cooking up something. I'm assuming he's
Yeah, he wants to like bang nothing now. He's over death.
finally. I
Yeah.
mean, when men have to stop being enslaved by women, men rights, meninist, is that what they call them?
Menaced,
Menace.
I
I love
think.
that Twitter account though, because I think it's funny.
Sounds like a weird form of cyst.
Yeah.
Menaced.
But it's about time, Thanos, and he's cooking up something, and maybe he'll go fight this Macronaut, which I think looks really cool. Honestly, I like his helmet. Which
Well, it's just thieving from the old design.
I don't remember the other one, so
There's probably going to be like one person who knows where this is based off.
yeah, I good for that one person though. They read up on their history. They bought Marvel Unlimited. I haven't yet. I need to
You're
though.
gonna get a load of people going like, "Oh, Marvel copying and stealing from people again."
From what?
From what?
No, you said they're copying from who?
Well, just copying in general. You know, everyone likes to point that out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of
Marvel
dumb.
still.
Is it really copying nowadays when everybody has the same theme?
Nowadays, I think it's probably a bit more frowned upon. The
Copying?
whole, yeah, because
But
it's
it,
plagiarism, isn't it? Really,
yeah, but if you're
but it's not plagiarism.
but I
I
think at the
think
same time it's more difficult, so you have to be a little bit more creative about it.
yeah, it is. You got to. Oh, I think you got to change at least 60% of something for
Trust
it to
me,
be.
I had to do in school. I had to do this thing where you put in a paper and then it like did a algorithm where it
You
see.
mean you had to see if it was not
Hmm?
plagiarized?
Yeah, it had this algorithm to see if it was not plagiarized, and I was really good at making sure it wasn't.
Yeah, that's like every like
College student.
yeah.
No, some people actually like to do their work, okay, and not pretend like actually plagiarizing and make it their.
Yeah, but like over here, you have to get it checked by that. No, they
Oh,
don't.
really? And what was
Yeah,
it called? Here it's called turnitin.com or something.
yeah,
Still,
that's
like,
exactly what we use.
really? Oh, that's cool. I didn't think it'd be the same thing.
Yeah,
It had this algorithm, and
the amount of times that kind of says like, no, this is too close. It's like fuck off. I just spent 6 hours on
I
this.
know, gosh, now everybody who's in college at the moment in university is probably like, I feel ya. The I,
I know the feel.
yeah, but yeah, this is cool. The Macronaut thing. Hopefully, like all this, like I can't wait to see what this has to offer, what it's going to lead out to. Because I mean, we've been saying since the beginning, it's probably going to lead to an Infinity like War Gauntlet like two.
I
Because
can see it leading that way.
yeah, whether it be a year after this comes out or whatever, just somewhere because it's perfect, marketing as well when Infinity War comes out in 2018. So bam,
Yeah.
so yeah, perfect that they're.
But as it stands at the minute, I think the tie-ins for Civil War 2 are looking more interesting than the actual event.
Ooh, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just, to me, I'm most interested in the MOSAIC thingy. I just want to know who that is. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving on to now the comics of the week. We have comics of the week for April 27th, 2016. I got some pretty good ones. Mitch will be talking some Image. I'll be talking some Valiant as always. But we also got Marvel DC. And there's a guy, I forget his name, but on Twitter he had messaged me saying that we should probably he likes that I mentioned the week because it helps out for a stamp. You know what I mean? I always told you when we first
Yeah.
started this, Mitch, that this is something that I needed to put on there just so people know, and so I
Yeah,
would
it
have.
wasn't should we do this? It's like no, I need this.
Yeah, we need this, and he liked it. But he also said it would be awesome if we mentioned like the writers and everything, or artists, or whatever of the comics that we read. I guess so because some people would like to go maybe follow them on Twitter and
Yeah.
be like shout outs to them or something. So we'll try to do that.
I'll start that next week.
Well, you didn't write. It's a good thing mine. Like I have like mine like I have mine written out of like what I talk about, but at the same time, it's I go to the
I
actual
I have
website.
stuff written out, but I don't have the names.
No, but I go to the actual website to like look at
Oh, I
the
don't.
summary or whatever, just
I
to
don't.
help me out.
I don't do that. You
Yeah.
look at a website for a summary. I actually take my own notes
Well,
down.
I type my own notes too, okay, and I don't know why I
My
said it
own
like that.
notes. I type my own notes too.
I don't know why I said it like that, but I also go there just because it kind of resurges the memory of it once I read the summary before the show starts, you know.
Yeah.
So, but who went last week? Was
Hold
it?
on. Hold on. I made a note. It was me.
It was you.
That's your turn.
Okay, it is my turn. Uh, I guess I'll go first in talking about Batman number 51. This is the last one for, I don't think it's the last
I,
one in general, but it's the
I heard
last,
about this one. Like
yes.
just hearing about this one, I kind of want to go back and read all the Snyder's Batman.
Yeah, it's really good. It's Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's last run or take on Batman. And he kind of like, this kind of sets up everything back to normal for whoever takes over Batman next to do what they want to do with it. But
Yeah. See,
Scott,
I like that. I like that's a nice
like
like
template. Yeah.
don't give the next writer like a cliffhanger or like something stupidly complicated. Make it nice and easy so it can feel like a continuation, but they have a clean slate sort of thing.
Exactly. And I was like, oh man, they didn't talk about like what happened to Jim Gordon at the end of 50 even, but I'm like, oh wait, they did kind of talk about it here. Everything's back to normal. He got out in time and whatever, but it's it's it is a love letter to Batman, I would say. And the gist of it is it's Batman's day off, but he still doesn't take a day off
Yeah,
because this is nothing happened. Like something happened, like the power went out, but and they go through everything possible what could happen, but you realize it was just a natural occurrence. You know, it's
yeah,
nothing. And I love that when Alfred tells him that, and Bruce is like, "It's all good. I'll just wait here real quick." And there's these little captions of dialogue throughout the whole issue that is told by a I guess a writer who's writing an editorial called Gotham Is, and he's writing like the pieces of dialogue throughout of it. The narration is from old and current and new, like Gotham Is segments of his editorial. Like Gotham
yeah.
is this, Gotham is that. It's kind of what,
That's a nice touch. I like
yeah. And I think the best moment is you see Batman say, "Stay in school, kid."
it.
That's just like awesome. I don't know why. Like, I mean, last issue kind of showed what Batman does for everyone, but this issue kind of shows uh, how everyone feels about it, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Because Batman, like last issue 50, showed that Batman helps them fight the darkness so they can fight whatever is hard in their day. Because Batman can fight a killer croc type monster in a sewer. Pretty sure we can handle our boss, you know?
yeah,
And in this one, it kind of tells you that it's even with Batman like doing all this, we love that he did it, and we appreciate it. They appreciate it. Gotham appreciates it, and I love there's so many things like what was the one I love the most of the narration? Gotham is a beautiful accident or disaster waiting to happen or something like that. It's it's like the calm before the storm, but it's like it's weird. It's this thing about how Gotham was, but I just really liked it because of what everything had to do. Plus, there's this one moment where Bruce is like he's in his new body, right? Because he's a new Batman. He has different memories, and he's the best Batman he can be. But there's one moment where his back is clean. There's nothing on it, and Alfred takes a moment to look at it and touch it because he soon has to realize that he's gonna have to stitch it up all over again.
yeah.
And he doesn't want to see that. He says sometimes he wants to fight Batman and everything. Is this very much of like what is Batman like how do people feel about it, and it's so
Yeah,
good. Honestly,
very much the end of the end of a story.
yes, it's the end of an era with Scott Snyder as well and Greg
Yeah.
Capullo. So good. Recommended to anybody really. If you,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, not even if you're a Batman fan. Like I did, it makes me get a better perspective of Batman altogether. These past couple, well, I mean the whole series altogether, but these past couple issues
I'd
really.
say I'm not a Batman fan in the slightest. Like,
Yeah,
you know me, you
yeah,
know I hate
yeah,
the character, but Snyder's run is kind of like, well, actually,
yeah.
this is
He makes it interesting. So overall I really liked it a lot, and it wasn't 40 pages. So that's what I'm up to.
oh, lucky you, lucky you.
What you got?
Um, well, with a title as long as the page count,
Oof.
Avengers Standoff Assault on Pleasant Hill, a mega number one.
It is.
Why it's a mega number one, I don't know,
That's kind
because
of,
it's the last issue of the event.
yeah.
So I might just call it a mega and get it out of the way. But it, as we said earlier, like this issue introduced a new Quasar.
Hmm.
Oh, excuse me, and
Yeah.
it kind of retcons the the last two. Like the last Quasar that I knew about anyway was Faye Lavelle from the 2008 Guardians run,
Hmm.
and she died by Adam Warlock's other half. I can't think what his name is. Magus, something like that.
Yeah.
He killed her, and there hasn't been the quantum bands that Quasar gets the powers from. I've kind of been floating about last I knew. And Wendell Vaughn, who was the Quasar before Phaler, also died from a Nihilus and Annihilation run. So I don't know how this takes place because not Matthew Vaughn, Wendell Vaughn is in this issue, and he's saying that I think he was running from something, he was hiding, and he kind of like opted to help Shield out with this thing. He's in this museum, and then the kindergarten teacher from the previous issues finds him, and she's like, "Who are you?" I know everyone here, but you're like a level 9 classification, so I'm not allowed to know who you are.
Oof.
And it's like, oh, I have the quantum band. You are now Quasar, and that's it. It's just like, this is so forced in this issue.
Just like really quick. It's like, here you go.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly how it happens, and it's just like, okay, I don't know what happened to the last Quasar or how Wendell Vaughn is still alive, but I suppose you got to run with it. That pretty much the main brunt of the book is as a fight. And then at the end, the Red Skull appears. I don't know why he just appears, like him and his daughter Sin. And then he goes off to rally people to Hydra. And it's just like, this event started off so well.
Yeah.
And then at the halfway point, it just
it's kind of just like, what is happening? Like Red Skull's here. Dog, what?
Well, obviously there was going to be a massive fight. But the fight really wasn't the focus of this issue, I don't think. There was more talking about Zemo. Kobik got pissed off, like the Cosmic Cube girl. She sent Zemo and Dr. Selvig off to the Himalayas.
Oh, Selvig's there?
Yeah, Selvik's in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much this issue is basically going, and now Bucky's going to be having the Thunderbolts, and we've now got a new Quasar. Red Skull's doing this. And that's pretty much it. That's all the sole purpose of this last issue.
Is it like a setup? Like, here's a new Quasar. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just kind of like, why? It seemed the second half of this event seemed to be more, this is what's going to happen driven, not this is what the story is sort of thing. And it's really disappointing. But the new Quasar should be cool. They do the whole power show off. They're all trying to like break this like gravity bubble from Graviton.
See, that sounds cool though.
And she just comes in and goes, and it breaks.
See, that sounds cool though. I like that.
But I hopefully we get a new series with this Quasar, but I don't think one's been announced.
Me either. I don't remember like. Well, maybe we'll hear about it soon because maybe people take to it. Yeah. And my next one is Superman Wonder Woman number 28. This is by Peter J. Tomasi, and I think Benz. I don't even know the artist, how to say the artist's name, but this is a continuation of the final days of Superman, the Super League. It's like all this thing. I think this is number 4, and I don't. I like it, but I don't absolutely get it because most of it takes place in one area.
Yeah.
Because first couple pages, or at least at the end of last one, when he was talking to Supergirl, Wonder Woman shows up like, Clark, you didn't tell me you were dying? I'm your girlfriend. And then they have their little talk. Supergirl's like, all right, let's get a room. But they have their little talk. They say how much they love each other and yada, yada, yada. And Diana, of course, is like, let's fix this. Clark's like, nope, I'm dying. There's no way to stop it. Just let me go. But I'm making sure everything I'm doing right now is to make sure that y'all will be able to protect it as you have before without me. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is, like I said, in one area in Argus where it's just Wonder Woman and Superman and actually Steve Trevor looking upon and trying to talk to this weird person that is the one that has been claiming to be Superman. Remember the one I told you who went into the Daily Planet and was like, hey, I'm Clark Kent, what's up, guys? But he looked
Yes.
nothing like
Yep.
Clark Kent. Yeah, that guy. He looks nothing like Clark Kent when he's regular. But when he is Superman, he has this red aura around him and actually looks like Superman. Has the S and everything. It's like on fire. He looks on fire. So it's they're trying to wonder like who is he? What is he? And there's a cool I don't know if this is like legit or like this is why he's like that, but the one of the answers was because he's probably the energy that Superman gave off in the solar flare at like 10 issues ago when he first lost his powers. You remember the whole thing of Superman now lost his powers? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're thinking. Like he's probably the energy somehow. The energy became a person. I don't know. The solar flare, all the energy that Clark Kent held.
Didn't this happened in Dragon Ball Z, didn't it?
Did it? I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember something like this happening
Really?
somewhere or something. I can't remember.
I don't know. But
Anyway, yeah, carry on. I can't.
it's weird as in because they don't give too much of anything. The only thing they give in this issue is Clark and Diana like finally having this consensus like, all right, Superman is dying. Now we have to try to do everything to uh look for like to make sure everything's in place to keep the world safe after he dies. But and just them trying to question the Superman, but no, that's really it. There's nothing else too much to it. There's a moment where the bad guy that Superman used the solar flare on, who is on the level on top, he talks to him, and they fight for a little bit because something happens where the bad guys get out, and he realizes that Superman is dying too. He's like, I don't have to kill you, Clark, because you're already dying yourself. And I was just like, oh, that's kind of like
Damn.
a sting from a villain that you.
Oh, hang on. That's a bit Civil Warish. Anyway, carry on.
What?
No, you'll
I don't.
find out in a week.
But it was good in the sense that Superman's starting to actually realize because he's not as strong as he was. That's why he couldn't take down the bad guy by himself because he's dying. So now it like I said, it just didn't give too much of what I asked for or what I wanted a little bit. I just wanted who is this guy claiming to be Superman in the solar flare energy? That's all I really want to know. Come on, somebody tell me. But it'll probably tell me next issue to be honest. And
Goku.
it is probably, but it's really it to it. There's not much to it, and I think the next one's another Superman, like number 51 or something. I don't know when Pretty New 52 Superman's gonna meet with this Superman. It's weird. It's at some point they're gonna have to meet, so I don't know. We'll see
Well,
about
it'd
that.
be in the rebirth issue, wouldn't it?
No, it's before it. They're gonna meet before it.
Well, how many issues left of the series then?
Like of Superman, there's 2 more. I think altogether there's either 1 or 2 more issues left.
Well, then you got 1 or 2 more issues
So
left.
they're gonna have to,
It's going to be in the last issue, right before like the rebirth special thing.
and then yeah, probably. And then I just want to know who this guy is. I just want to know who, what like how the Chinese Superman is coming on about because I know they hacked the Fortress of Solitude. They got blood from Superman. Now they're missing something else. Like they're just like trying to make their own Superman over in China, which is something North Korea would do. But still,
They'd fuck it up, North Korea.
yeah. I mean, they remember they did it in Iron Man or Iron Man 2. They
Yeah.
tried making their own thing, and it's like completely terrible. All the countries try doing that, but it's nothing too much. So that's all I gotta say. Nothing
Yeah.
too much. It's pretty all right. What else you got?
Ultimates number 6.
Mm,
This issue asks all the important questions about post Secret Wars Marvel.
nice.
All
That's what
the,
I want to know.
but it doesn't answer them, but
Oh,
it definitely asks the right questions. But it's that like you get Galactus, he's like monologuing.
yeah,
And have you heard this thing, or what's the right word for it? It's not a proverb. It's more of a legend.
yeah.
It's not even a legend of the impossible task of a man pushing a boulder up a mountain to the top.
Oh, it's like it's not a myth, it's not a legend, a folktale or something like that. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's
tale.
something like that. It's
Yeah,
people will know what I mean, but
yeah,
I'm using the wrong words for it.
yeah.
But yeah, like the guy, someone tries to push a boulder up a mountain, but gravity always puts the boulder back down the bottom. So you can't. The task can never be completed. And he's going on about that and how every universe has this same thing, but the reasoning might be different. Like some say it's like a punishment, some say it's balance, all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
it's a very Galactus centric issue. This like the Ultimates are in it for like a page, and he's like, "I'm going to drop you off because you shouldn't be in this part of the grand cosmic scheme, and then I'm going to go back." But the main like he goes back into the Omniverse, and like he comes across what are their names? Got to get in the right order. Lord Chaos and Master Order. They're just basically just giant floating heads, and they're saying in his current state he's throwing everything out of whack,
Ooh.
but at the same time they're disagreeing with each other. Well, they're saying the opposite to each other, but they're agreeing with each other. There's obviously Chaos and Order are the same thing, and they both you need one to work for the other. And Galactus is like, no, you can fuck off. I'm happy as I am now. I'm staying as I am now. And he ends up just like beating the shit out of them and then flicking them off.
Oh,
Like, I don't know how he flicks them away. He just like changes size all of a sudden. This goes flick, and
damn.
they fly away. Then a random door appears. This giant door out of nowhere, and someone's like, "Are you gonna come in?" And he knows who it is, and he's like, he's shitting himself. But he goes in, and it's Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, and he starts going on. He starts talking about Schrodinger's cat. Like you put a cat
Oh,
in a box
yeah. I
with
know
like the
that.
poison. Is it going to be alive or dead? Like
I watched Bill
the
Nye.
same. All right, you watch Bill Nye. But yeah, he goes on about that, but he's using that as like a terminology for his own thing. Where he's like, I've got this box. This box has an omniverse in it,
Mhm.
and the omniverse died
Ooh.
and was reborn, but people from the old omniverse carried on into the new one. So is the omniverse? Did the omniverse really die? Now we know from Secret Wars that's what happened. Like everything died, started again, but people carried over. So was it really destroyed? Was it not?
Ooh. Yeah.
And he kind of goes on like that, and he talks about how eternity's all chained up. And in Starbrand and Night Mask, like Eternity's children are after them. They're trying to wipe out all the Starbrands, I think, or just Earth. And he's saying, why can't Eternity stop them? No. Can he just say no to them? Is he enabling them? Who chained him up? How did they chain him up? How do you chain up the cosmos itself?
Damn, what?
Sort of thing. You need to really pay attention to it. But it's a really good issue. And he goes on about the man in the rock. And what's he say? He's saying, is the rock meant to be where it should? And that's the whole point of this issue. Is like, is everything now where it should be, or was everything where it should have been before? Sort of thing. And it's kind of, I don't know. To me, it's kind of addressing how the state of the Marvel universe is at the moment,
Mhm.
and kind of I don't know how to put it. Like, because you know everyone always like cries about change. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a lady's thought, oh, you can't have a black Captain America sort of thing. It's kind of, I don't know. I think it's. I personally, I feel it's kind of talking about that as well.
What, talking about the
But
change?
yeah, but
Mm.
I don't know. And the whole issue is kind of like that. But and it kind of ends there as well.
Ah.
And like Galactus is kind of like gonna is the man who's got the impossible task, sort of thing. But yeah,
Mm.
really good issue. Like definitely very wordy issue, very good, uneventful,
Save wordy?
but yeah, wordy.
That's true. Did say it asks all the questions, doesn't give any of the answers, but asks the right questions.
Well, it's gonna get like
Yeah,
I
I
hope
know, yeah.
gives you the answers later down the road in the series, but
Yeah. But it asks the right questions, which gets me excited. Alright, so
should be excited. It's gonna be great.
my turn. And I got Justice League number 49. I'm telling you, this deserves to be an animated movie, Dark Side War. It feels like a feature film, the way
Well,
everything.
It's new 52, so it probably will
Oh,
eventually.
I would hope so, because this is like out of the other ones, this is the one that's ripe to be a film of sorts, animated, live action, whatever it is, because it's just it feels so grander in scale compared to even the first arc where Darkseid first came in. Like, this is just like crazy awesome. And this one, it's the second to last one. It's right before the last what's gonna happen. And I really want to know. There's only is there one question? I guess there's one question that I really want to know. It's like Amori, who is that baby's father? Because the
Yeah,
baby is born from Superwoman, but no one knows who the father is, and it's kind of weird because this issue, the crime syndicate talk about how the only way they're gonna defeat this bad guy Mobius, who came back was like, I'm gonna kill you all, was because of the baby. The baby was gonna be the weapon, but he dies before they get the baby does anything really.
yeah.
But now they're gonna have to deal with an even stronger like villain, and she's even more badass. She's a woman too, so she'll kill you like
Damn.
so. But it's just the action's good. The what the story element of it is really good. Like how I guess how the Crime Syndicate and the Justice League are working together. And one the thing I found interesting about this series, this arc, is that it's Wonder Woman has been narrating the whole thing. So
Yeah,
it's different because you don't see a lot of times Wonder Woman narrating a Justice League arc. It's usually maybe Superman, maybe Batman, maybe even Green Lantern, Aquaman in Throne of Atlantis. You don't see a lot of times Wonder Woman, and this is her arc because the woman who Darkseid's daughter is half Amazonian, so that's probably why.
oh,
Because she's half dark, whatever Darkseid is, and apocalyptian or whatever you want to say, and half Amazonian. So, and
oh,
now
she's the one with dark hair
in the cover,
in the comic.
yes, if I can remember correctly, uh,
I
she's
say dark, I meant black.
but yes, that's
Yeah,
her. She's scary as heck, dude. Like there's
yeah,
a like in the one issue before the special about Dark Side War, it kind of showed like a little bit about her. I think I said it before, but maybe it's just how her growing up and she, since she's Darkseid's daughter, she's more inclined to kill, and she was like,
yeah.
she's on that edge of she could go good or bad, but she's being pulled in both directions. One by her mother, one by her father. Ultimately, she ends up going more towards her father's side, Darkseid. So, and the thing is, like, it's crazy because you still got to remember that a lot of these characters, the Justice League, are still gods. Like Superman is still in the apocalypse pits or whatever, where he's white and black. Flash is still the death racer thingy, where he can't move until someone dies. And he even says like, "I want to move, but I can't. But I know I'm about to because death is coming." So,
That's a really interesting take.
of what Flash or
But just in general, like you can't move until someone dies.
yeah, he's like the Grim Reaper, but he only moves when someone dies, and he wants to. He's fighting as hard as he can to try to help but he can't. He just can't until some. But he knows death is coming. And in Batman,
Yeah.
who's still on the freaking chair of a life, like that big old rocking chair,
How
and
does he go to the toilet?
I don't know. But he's still like, I guess the thing is about it is, I think the baby is the most important thing that's coming out of this,
Yeah.
because they're both at odds. Like once they teamed up, Crime Syndicate and the Justice League, to take down Mobius, but once he died, now they're gonna face each other. But at the same time, Darkseid's daughter is here, when she wants to kill everybody. So it's it's a crazy turn of events. But I just don't know how this all works out, because Darkseid died, then the person who killed Darkseid died, and now that they have to fight the person who killed Darkseid. That's like, how do you beat someone like that? Literally, like, you can't even kill
So
Darkseid.
it's no, not the stakes are raising. What is it? It's getting tougher each time, basically.
It really is, and I just don't know how they're gonna be able to get out of this. I,
They don't. That's why there's a rebirth.
that's probably why, and maybe the baby causes the rebirth. He just claps. I
The
feel like he's
baby
like,
Superboy Prime. That's what it is.
oh, that's what someone said, right? That's for now, but that's just because it's Superwoman who gave birth, and people are thinking it's Ultraman who was the father. But Ultraman died a while back ago because he thought he was cool, and then
Was
they
it 9 months a while ago though?
no, Ultraman died just like a couple months ago, a couple issues ago.
You never know.
What
Could
do you mean?
be. Whoa, how much time's passed since he's died in the comics?
Well, in real time, it's been like 3, 4 months. In
No,
comics, it's probably been 20 minutes.
there you go. Then he could very well be the father.
The what? Oh, I mean,
If it's been 20 minutes, you could have done it 9 months ago.
but nobody knows who the father is. Everybody like Superwoman lied to Owlman and Ultraman, saying she lied to both of them on who the father was, so they could fight each other and one could kill one another or something. So literally no one knows who the father is, and that's, I think, the most prominent thing that's gonna happen out of this, because this baby is something. I don't know what it's gonna lead up to, but it has to be something, because they don't just give birth to a random baby in the middle of a big epic war for nothing.
Unless you are the second coming.
Oh, it's Jesus. Like, I don't see, like, after seeing some of the rebirth stuff, I just don't know where this baby fits. Like, what does it do? Is it the new Darkseid? Is Darkseid?
Maybe the baby. Oh no, isn't Clark's son already
Yeah,
around?
it's the pre-New 52 Superman.
Uh,
This is weird. That's the only thing that's gonna be answered next issue, but that's the only thing just really want to know. Like, it's not even a
so
bad.
basically, there's an Apocalypse Kid in DC now.
Yeah, well, Grill. Yeah, she's been around for a while now, but she finally came to action.
Mm.
So I mean, honestly, if you've been reading this has just been an epic freaking thing. It's called Dark Side War for a reason, and I think it's gonna be one of those books from Jeff Johns that people go back in 5 years and be like, wow, this was. I mean, uh, maybe not as like the, what was it, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, but
Yeah,
I think it's could go up there depending on how it ends. I think it could be up there, one of his greatest, because it's just crazy on how this, and plus it's a Wonder Woman story at that. So
yeah.
I'm just excited to see what happens with this. And that's me. That's enough of me rambling, but about that. So what else you got?
Sex Criminals number 15.
Ooh,
Image. I love this book. So this series. This was a bit of a nothing issue, really.
yeah.
It was 99% melodrama.
you
Like just standard, boring melodrama. Just like, oh,
didn't
this is
like it that much?
it was all right. Like it's probably the first time I've said it about the series.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, I don't know. Nothing really happened apart from one thing, and it was, oh, it's the third time in the 15 issues that they've broken the fourth wall,
Mm.
and it was for like 5 panels. But it ended up them being in the year 3,588 or 3588 for one panel. And then they went, oh no, can't do that. That's too confusing. And like that's pretty much it. Like,
That's I know, but I know y'all like you and like Malik told me that I should be reading Sex Criminals.
you really should. Like the previous 14 issues have been amazing.
Yeah,
This is the first issue I'd say was a bit meh. And at the same time,
we all have that, to be honest. There's
yeah,
always
like
that
you
one.
can't all. No, it was okay. It wasn't up to the standard that I expect from this, but
Understandable.
what can you really do?
Yeah. So you want me to move on to my last one?
Yeah, you can move on
All right.
because there was just nothing but melodrama.
I
That was
got
it.
Faith. Number 4, the issue this miniseries has ended. It has an ongoing series now, but I loved it. I mean this series you should definitely check into reading it. Like I probably will Sex Criminals, but it's she does a lot of the time talk in third person, which we talked about before show. Like I didn't know if it was like is it breaking the fourth wall because she's like talking, she's narrating, but at the same time it's it's something like any one of us probably would do when talking. Like we have our supervisor, like man, imagine if I can like get
She's
this.
doing a CW intro.
No,
She's talking about herself, but saying what's happened.
mm, I wouldn't say necessarily that. Like example, she's fighting a villain in this one, but or she's like, man, who'd have thought I'd have to fight? Like she has a narration thing like in her head, like she's talking, like thinking to herself, like, man, who would have thought I had to fight a cult who were aliens who try to take over the world through reality TV. I
Well,
thought I was gonna have to
that's
do.
in a monologue.
No, yeah, okay, but she says right after that, who'd have thought I would have to fight a code of aliens trying to take over the world through reality TV? I kind of thought I was gonna have a time travel plot in this. Like she knows this is her story, but she doesn't know it's a comic. Like I think it's
Yeah,
because
that's
it's just an inner
very
monologue.
CW, like CW-ish, I'd say.
I mean,
That's just talking to that
she
person.
grew up. Her character grew up wanting to be a superhero because she read comics, she saw the movies, she saw TV shows, science fiction,
Then yeah,
superhero stuff, and
you've
everything.
got she's
So
yeah
she thinks, so she's like, this is my story, and she's like in her own mind, she's narrating or whatever. But
yeah.
I mean, just to give like a basic thing of what happened throughout this, it's just really good, and it does give a tease into the whole. Remember the whole Archer and Faith loves thingy that
Yeah.
they might go out. This does lead into that, I think, because
Uh,
they've been friends. They were
yeah.
friends, but they never thought about like anything more than that. And then when Archer was the only one who could come down to California to help her fight the bad guys, uh, like they started realizing maybe this could be something more. Because after that, they just wanted to wind down, and then I think they're talking about going to see a movie or something, and then that's where the thing comes in. Like it because Archer is a lot. I don't want to say like Drax, but he is straightforward. And like, if you tell him something, he kind of takes it literally, but not in the way where if he says that went over your head, he's gonna talk about like nothing went over my head because I have quick reflexes. It's not that straightforward.
He's literal. He's not in, for lack of a better word, autistic literal.
Yeah, he's also because he was trained in a cult, and he's just trained, and he hasn't had much social interaction. So
Yeah.
but I do really like this series, and I can't wait to see how much what her ongoing will do because her powers. She's technically a telekinetic, but she lifts herself up, and that's how she flies. And I I just there's so much to like about it because it's a different type of thing where she even talks about like I think she even references Clark Kent, she references Wonder Woman, I think she references like Captain America too. So all that stuff is real in her world, you know,
Yeah.
and that's really awesome. So I
So the Valiant universe is our universe because it
except
has DC and Marvel in it,
it has all the science fiction and movies that we talk about and everything.
but it's not our universe
No, it's just a universe where powers connect.
because the Marvel universe is set in our universe.
It's weird, but I like the
Comic.
I like the thing that they tell about her. It's a mild-mannered blogger by day, an aspiring superhero by night. So she kind of goes on the Clark Kent thing of being a
Yeah.
blogger and getting into the action, and and she even like references, but it's just really good because I love that the fact that the aliens wanted to control the world by using reality TV. It's what? It,
To be fair, if you're gonna do it,
it's the
that would have
best
been
way.
very effective like 10 years ago
Oh no, actually, no.
when reality TV was at its peak.
Not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when Jersey Shore and all that, the real world.
Yeah, but no one liked Jersey Shore.
A lot of people like Jersey
The
Shore.
only people that like Jersey Shore were the people on Jersey Shore.
I mean, I'm not a big reality TV guy, but I, I
No
get,
one.
I get it, and they decided to do it. But it's such a unique story that I recommend anybody read it. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's so unique, interesting, and she doesn't like. I mean, all of it takes place in the same universe as Valiant thing. So there's references to Unity, Exo Manowar, Ninja, all these other villains and heroes in this universe. And she's like, the only reason she went to California is because like I don't want to do the team thing anymore. Kind of want to be solo at it, whatever. And
that's that's the same reason. No, no, it's not.
mhm.
I was gonna say it's the same reason as Ant-Man, but it's not.
Oh.
I,
And it's also the what is it? Is it the writer from Orphan Black who writes this?
I, I,
It says
I can't.
Orphan Black, but I don't know if she's the writer for it. So it's Jodie Hauser. So
Jodie Howe. Name rings a bell.
let me look it up here. But honestly, just gonna
It
say
could be the author, the person who writes the Orphan Black comic.
probably it can't be the show.
It could be the show, you know. What's her face from Agent Carter writes Captain Marvel.
Don't you like Orphan Black though, right?
Love Orphan Black.
So I think you definitely would really like this. It's just very unique, interesting, and she is very. I don't want to say in like the whole I'm a strong independent woman. I don't need no man, but she takes no shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in her own way,
I was looking at it when it was first announced, but I was just kind of like, I've got kind of too much to read in a minute, but I might. I need to make time to read like a back
I,
catalogue.
I
So
think you would really love the inner monologue. It's just funny, but other than that, just I loved it. I can't say more than just me loving it. It's so good. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of this, and it's winning like I think it's like being talked about around in the space and like the
you
comics
say
and but literature.
space making the rounds. It's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
putting
great.
their stamp on things.
And you think it's actually like we said it before. It's not one of those things where it's purely promotional. It's just a really good story, like Kamala Khan, where Kamala Khan made the rounds and
Yeah,
everything.
it's kind of it's a bit in a way like a Daredevil Netflix. It's not like a superhero. It's not good because it's a superhero show. It's like it's just a good show that happens to have.
Yeah, superheroes in it.
Yeah,
And I can see like this being a thing where people are gonna. I'm pretty sure people have done it already, but cosplaying as Faith and everything. I mean, it's not that old. It's like
I'd say
5 months.
I've seen a couple.
You seen a couple already? I haven't. I can't wait to see it though, because I think it's awesome. Like whatever if for whatever it does for women or little girls out there for her being a superhero, like Kamala Khan, Faith, Captain Marvel, all of them. I think it's
Love,
just really good. So
love Miss Marvel. That book's so good.
yeah. What else you got? You got one more, right?
My final one is Saga number 36. I love this issue.
Ooh,
It
I
was
hear.
so good.
Yeah.
It was such a feelsy issue, but it was a feels good issue because uh, it's on the prison planet where the daughter Hazel is,
hmm
and the teacher's trying to like get her off of it, and she's put her in this cardboard box, and she's like, "Ah, no, it's fine. Like the guard never checks the law. What I say, he always lets me through." And of course, she said that, so now it's not going to happen. And she gets there, and he's like, "Yeah, the regulations have been like tightened up. We've got to kind of check everything." So she panics and legs it, and the guard kind of like clicks something's going on.
hmm
So the other two, I can't think what their names are. They don't speak normal tongue, I call it, or common tongue, whatever it is. And like they kind of take him, like knock him out. And as that happens, Marco, the dad, arrives. I think his name's Marco. I always call him Marco. He arrives on this planet, and for the first time in years, he's like, there was a massive time jump for one of the recent issues, and he hasn't seen his daughter in years, and he finally gets to see her, and he's like, you won't remember me, but this was yours when you were younger,
Ooh.
and it clicks, and it's just like, oh, daddy. It's just like, yes, they finally found each other.
How far is it? Like
issue 36.
Yeah, like this is
Been going for a while.
Yeah, but I know you and Santi tell me oh, it's so
Santi would tell you it's the best comic out. I would tell you it's the second best, and I will stand by East of West is the best.
amazing.
It's God King Hickman. You can't beat.
True, he's the king.
He's the peak of comics.
Yeah,
but Marco sees his mum on his planet when he's got his daughter, and he's like, right, let's all get out of here. Back to the portal I just opened. And she's like, nah, I'm going to stay here. So they have this thing. I'm not going to leave you. No, you have to come with me. And she's like, no, I like it here. I've got facial tattoos of a sword now. I'm going to stay here. One of the people that knocked the guards out ends up going back with them through this portal. And instantly, because she's the first one to go back, she picks a fight with the mother, Elena. I think her name's... Is it Elena? Where'd I pull Elena from? I don't think it is that. I'm having a look at my things. Whatever her fucking name is. I can never remember the names of people in this, apart from Prince Robot the Fourth. That's the only one I remember.
Even then, that'd be hard for me to remember.
I only remember it because it's just a long name and it just sticks out. But, yeah, so, she starts beating on her, and Prince Robot is like, what are you doing? And it's like, that's his wife. And because they're two different species, she spits on the floor. But the family's back together again. And then it goes over to where the Will is, the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna pronounce it Goose.
But it's not.
It's spelled Ghus. It's got the little German two dots.
It's probably Goose.
I think it is Goose.
Yeah.
Or Goose.
Goose.
Yeah, he picks a fight with him, this little tiny baby seal, and he ends up slicing the Will's fingers off. And the Will's crazy at this point. He's seeing his old girlfriend in his head, and it morphs into his dead brother. And he's like, I'm your brain, you idiot. I'm not real. You kind of gone crazy here. And then it jumps back to the family again. And it finds out, what am I talking about? It turns out that the wife is pregnant again. And it's just yes. It's such a good series.
Yeah. I'm telling you, people were listening. Anything, Image and Valiant, anything other Marvel, DC, even Dark Horse and Boomer, they're the ones who really they have a lot more to prove, so they come up with some better stories. I think.
I wouldn't even say they got things to prove. It's
that's just more so. That's just me more saying
it's where they're smaller companies. They have the freedom.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Yeah.
Especially Image. Image is all creator owned, obviously, and it's not all connected. There's a small pocket universe of Image books that coexist, but for the most part they're not. So they're not constrained to anything. They can tell what they want. Mm-hmm. If a creator has an idea, they make it. And it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, and with Valiant, it's really, you don't get confused, or people who are writing it, who are on the projects of this universe of Valiant, don't get confused by hundreds of comics that come out a month. It's literally at most probably 10 to 12 comics a month, and they're all just really good and original type characters. I mean, the way they don't even call them superheroes, they call them psyops. So it's people who just gain abilities.
Did they just make that word up?
Yeah, because you have to. I'm pretty sure you can't use superhero.
Well,
I think DC and Marvel trademark
that. I recognize that word. It just sounds familiar, but
really, I think that just sounds like psychic to me. But I feel like that's
what was it called again?
Psyops.
No, I'm thinking about seance.
Well, if you look up psyops, the first one that comes up is the villain in Imperium, Toyo Harada. So
yeah, because that's probably the only thing it matches to.
Yeah, that's the first one where it comes up. Well, but still, that it's just Like these are the other
Image is
companies.
still the best one.
Valiant all day.
No,
I love this
we
Marvel
have
universe.
Image has Invincible and Saga and East of West.
Hey, we got Faith. We got Ninjak, who's UK. I always say
That's
Ninjak, but it's
so
Ninjak.
racist.
And hopefully, I mean, hopefully, I hear there's movies being made and they're by Sony, so I hope they don't get messed up. I really hope they don't get messed up, like, because this is like these are made for good, like live action, like movie or TV show. Like Faith could honestly be a TV show because her powers are really just you can have her on a wire. It's like it's really
Yeah.
that's it. Like she doesn't have, and she's not super strong or anything. Literally, there's a part in this issue for where she says we're all not super strong, so she's using the things like spies would use to get into a door.
Or lockpicks.
Yeah, lockpicks. I forgot what they're called. But this is what I wanted to tell you real quick because I found it in the comic about how her inner monologue. She takes down the bad guy and her banter is, "Sorry, this series has been canceled." And then she says inside her head, "Leveling up on Banner 2" because she's like thinking she's leveling up as a
A
hero. As
bit
she's
of D&D, yeah. Yeah.
hmm,
Well, RPG even, I should say.
what?
Well, you said leveling up in banter, didn't you?
Yeah, leveling up on
Yeah, so
Banter
it's
2.
bit of an RPG element.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just in her head because she's
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's adding that like little nerdy element in there.
yeah, because she's a straight nerd, dude. She's a geek all around. That's the reason she's a superhero. But I love this one where it's kind of just it tells you what her story is all about. It's in the last page. It says in her inner monologue thing. After all, it's the big and the little moments that make my story. And then the other one on the very side, in parentheses, still open to a time travel plotline. By the way, so she's a real geek, and you relate to her a lot. And but it's all even it doesn't matter who you are as long as if you are in like we love the like science fiction movies, comics, and all that everything geek. You relate to her. You don't have to be a woman to relate to her.
Yeah.
But it's just like we said, these companies are the ones I think that have better stories overall because DC and Marvel have been at it for so long that you can't. It's not a bad thing that they've been at it for so long, but it's refreshing when you see like
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
yeah, yeah.
No, especially if you want something a lot more serious, it's quite easy to find.
Mm-hmm. Both of them have it Valiant all the way. Valiant all the way. But I mean that'll be it because I think I'm saving the whole Marvel thingy for next week because that'll be the week of Civil War and I could have Marvel characters who deserve a TV show. Plus, I don't like to go over on time. We like to be right on time.
But we went over last time.
You know
Wasn't it
what?
like an hour and 10 minutes?
Did you see my comment on it that I said both hosts sick and exhausted yet go for
Yeah,
the
I
longest
saw that.
recording time ever? I was like,
I saw that and I didn't see that you said that
ah.
and I was like, well, who would say that? And it's like, oh, it's John.
Must have been a guy. I have to go talk. I have to go talk trash to him. He talked trash to us, but I think I will save the Marvel thing of which character should have a TV show or what kind of characters.
Good because I haven't thought of a single one.
Oh, I always in the back of my head always have one ready or
No,
have.
I was too busy thinking. It's like if Netflix got bigger,
Oh,
they could easily do an image series.
oh, they
Then
could.
I
They
was trying to think what series that they could actually do on a Netflix budget. But
Oh, what was it? What was I gonna bring up? But yeah, we already said it before, but I'm actually really excited about the Cloak and Dagger thing. To be honest, like I don't know too much about the
I
characters, but I'm excited.
just read the
Description?
uh
Yeah.
no, the Ultimate Comics
Oh yeah, with Miles. Yeah,
Spider Man No More.
yeah.
Read that arc.
Wait.
It's
Oh,
fantastic.
in the Ultimates,
Yeah,
I remember
because
they
like their origins are virtually some things are different.
like
People will tell you that.
is I remember seeing the one where they were with Miles Morales.
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
Was
Ultimate
that the
one.
Ultimate one? Okay, then
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that one. The one where they're going to prom, right? And then something happened, and they're in a car
Yeah,
crash.
they get kidnapped by Roxxon and then they get experimented on that. Yeah,
I would love that if that's it, and
I think that's the one that fits more into the MCU. But
That'd be dope. And plus, it's freeform, where you. Plus, they're going a little bit more edgy with freeform. If you notice, they're not ABC Family anymore, so they can
Well,
go a
no,
little
they're
bit edgy.
going for that beginner quotation mark demographic, aren't they? The
No,
18
but
to
at the same
34.
time, if look, I don't watch Pretty Little Liars, but I what I hear is that it on ABC Family it was they started to go a little bit darker, and not like darker like Daredevil, but they can do stuff like these people are in a car crash and stuff, you know? Because on ABC
Yeah,
Family, it's you wouldn't think of stuff like that, and like, but with Freeform, they can do whatever they want,
yeah, they're trying to
and oh,
reinvent themselves a little bit.
they could go a little bit more risque because I hear on Pretty Little Liars there's lesbians, and I'm like, oh, that makes me want to watch it, but
Well, you've got lesbians and then Cloak and Dagger. You've got a black and white couple.
risque.
We're back in the 80s. Everything's a risk.